My name is Eleanor Thompson, and I'm 68 years old. For most of my life, I believed family was everything. I raised my only son, Quentin, alone after my husband passed from cancer when Quentin was just 12. I worked double shifts as a nurse, saved every penny, and poured my heart into giving him the best start possible. When he married Beatrice 12 years ago, I was overjoyed. She was beautiful, ambitious, ran a high-end boutique in the fanciest part of town, and seemed to adore my son. They had a son of their own 2 years later, my precious Lamont. Lamont was born with cerebral palsy. The doctors said it was likely due to complications during delivery, but no one could say for sure. He couldn't walk without support, had limited use of his right arm, and spoke with a soft slur that broke my heart every time he tried so hard to be understood. But oh, how bright he was! His eyes lit up at stories, he loved dinosaurs more than anything, and his laugh could melt the coldest room. Quentin and Beatrice were thrilled at first, photo shoots, therapy sessions, the works. But as the years passed and the therapies became endless, the excitement faded. They started calling his needs a lot. Appointments clashed with Beatrice's boutique events. Quentin's IT consulting job required travel. Slowly, they began leaning on me more. Mom, can you watch Lamont this weekend? We have a conference. Mom, his PT cancelled, can you take him? I never said no. How could I? This was my grandson, my blood, the light of my days. 3 years ago, when Lamont was 7, I made what I thought was the kindest decision of my life. I had saved enough from my pension and selling my late husband's old car collection to gift them a house, a beautiful, bright mansion in the Hillrest neighborhood. It had wide doorways for Lamont's wheelchair, a ramp I paid to install, a big backyard with a swing set adapted for him, and plenty of space for therapies. I deeded it to them outright, no strings attached, because I wanted them to have stability. This is for Lamont's future, I told them tearfully at closing. Quentin hugged me tight. Beatrice smiled sweetly and said, "You're the best, Eleanor. We'll never forget this." I moved into a small condo nearby so I could still be close. I babysat almost daily, cooked meals, drove Lamont to school and back, helped with homework. Quentin and Beatrice thrived, promotions, vacations, new cars. They hosted parties in their house, posted perfect family photos online. I was happy to see them happy. But something shifted around Lamont's 9th birthday. Beatrice started complaining about the burden of special needs parenting. "It's exhausting," she'd sigh when I picked up Lamont after school. Quentin grew distant, spending more nights at the office. They stopped attending most of Lamont's therapy sessions. "You handle it so well, Mom," Quentin would say. "You're better at this than we are." I bit my tongue. I loved Lamont fiercely, caring for him was never a burden. Then came Christmas 2 months ago. Lamont was turning 10 soon, and he was so excited. He had drawn pictures of Santa bringing him a new adaptive bike. I planned a big family dinner at their house, turkey, all the trimmings, gifts wrapped under the tree. On December 23rd, Quentin called me over. "Mom, we have news," he said, grinning. Beatrice stood beside him, holding up 2 cruise tickets. "We won a contest at the boutique, a 10-day Caribbean cruise over Christmas and New Year's. Luxury ship, all expenses paid. Isn't it amazing?" My heart sank a little. "That's wonderful," I said. "But, what about Lamont? Christmas with his family?" Beatrice waved a hand. "He'll be fine with you, Eleanor. You've always done holidays better anyway. We'll bring him back gifts from every port. And think of it, some peace for once." Peace. The word stung. They were leaving their disabled son on Christmas to sail away. I looked at Lamont, who was in his wheelchair by the window, staring out at the snow. He didn't understand yet. I agreed to watch him. What choice did I have? On Christmas Eve, they packed their suitcases while I helped Lamont open one early gift, a dinosaur puzzle. Quentin kissed his son's forehead absently. "Be good for Grandma, buddy. We'll Skype on Christmas morning." Beatrice hugged me quickly. "Thanks, Eleanor. you're a lifesaver. They left at dawn on Christmas Day. The house felt empty. Lamont woke up, looked around, and asked in his soft voice, "Where Mommy and Daddy?" "They had to go on a trip, sweetie," I said, fighting tears. "But Grandma's here. And Santa came." We spent the day together, opening gifts, watching movies, eating cookies. Lamont smiled, but I saw the confusion in his eyes. No parents on Christmas. No video call came. I texted Quentin, "Lamont's asking for you." No reply. Later, I saw Beatrice's Instagram story, them on the deck in swimsuits, champagne in hand, caption "Paradise Found. Merry Christmas." My blood boiled. But I focused on Lamont. We built a fort, read books, did his stretches. He fell asleep in my arms that night, whispering, "Grandma stay forever?" "Always, baby," I promised. The cruise lasted 10 days. They returned tanned and relaxed on January 4th. I had Lamont ready, his new adaptive toys packed. When they walked in, Beatrice cooed, "Look at our little man." Quentin ruffled his hair. "Missed you, champ." But something felt off. They didn't ask about his therapies, his school progress. Beatrice mentioned needing a break more than once. Then Quentin pulled me aside. "Mom, we talked on the cruise. Parenting a special needs kid, it's overwhelming. We're thinking of hiring full-time help. Or maybe a boarding facility that's good for kids like him." My world tilted. "A facility? He's your son." "It's not forever," Beatrice chimed in. "Just until we get our lives back. You could visit anytime." I stared at them. These were the people I gave a house to. The people who left their child on Christmas. That night, after they put Lamont to bed, I couldn't sleep. I drove home, mind racing. Then I remembered something crucial. When I gifted the house, I had kept the deed in my name for tax reasons initially, but never fully transferred it. A lawyer friend had advised a life estate clause, meaning I retained certain rights until my death, but they could live there. In reality, because of how the paperwork was filed, a mistake on their part, they never followed up on the final transfer. The title was still technically mine. I had access to sell if needed. The next morning, I called my lawyer. "Can I sell the house?" He paused. "Technically, yes. The deed never transferred fully. It's still in your name with a revocable trust clause you set up. They have occupancy rights, but you control the title." I hung up, heart pounding. They had treated my gift like a right. They abandoned Lamont for luxury. Now, they wanted to institutionalize him. I made my decision. I didn't tell anyone at first, not even Lamont. I started quietly. I contacted a real estate agent I trusted, an old friend from my nursing days named Maria. "I need to sell a property fast," I said. But discreetly. Maria came over to the condo. I showed her the documents. "This is unusual," she said. "They live there thinking it's theirs?" "They do," I replied. "But legally, it's mine. I want it sold before they realize." We listed it quietly, FSBO at first, then with a private buyer network. I priced it competitively for a quick sale. The mansion was desirable, good schools, big lot, accessibility features that appealed to families with special needs kids ironically. Meanwhile, life continued. I picked Lamont up daily, helped with homework, took him to therapies. Quentin and Beatrice seemed relieved I was handling everything. "You're a saint, Mom," Quentin said one evening. Beatrice added, "We booked another trip in spring, Europe this time. Short one, though." I smiled thinly. "Enjoy." Lamont noticed the tension. One night, as I tucked him in at their house, I often stayed over so they could date night, he whispered, "Grandma, why Mommy and Daddy always go away?" I stroked his hair. "Some grown-ups need breaks, sweetie. But Grandma never leaves." He hugged me tight. "I love you best." My resolve hardened. 2 weeks after listing, an offer came in, full asking price from a young family with a child in a wheelchair. They loved the ramps, the space. Cash buyers. Closing in 30 days. I accepted. Now came the hard part, telling them. Or not telling them. I decided not to. Why give them warning? They hadn't warned Lamont about Christmas. I started moving his things quietly, favorite toys, clothes, adaptive equipment, to my condo. I told them I was organizing for his therapies. They barely noticed. On closing day, I met the buyers at the title company. Papers signed. Money wired. The house was sold. That afternoon, I picked Lamont up from school as usual. We went to my condo. Surprise sleepover, I said. He giggled. Yay. Quentin called around 6 p.m. Mom, where's Lamont? His stuff is gone. I took a breath. He's with me. Permanently. Silence. Then Beatrice's voice in the background, what? I explained calmly. The house is sold. I retained title. You have 24 hours to vacate. The new owners move in next week. Quentin exploded. You can't do this. That's our home. It was a gift, I said. One you never appreciated. You left your son on Christmas for a cruise. You talked about putting him in a facility. This ends now. Beatrice screamed, you're stealing our house. We'll sue. Go ahead, I said. The deed is clear. My lawyer is ready. They hung up. That night, Lamont asked why we weren't going home. I sat him down. This is our new home now, baby. Mommy and Daddy need time to figure things out. But you're safe with Grandma. He looked sad but nodded. Okay. As long as you're here. The next day, they showed up at my condo. Quentin pounded on the door. Open up, Mom, we need to talk. I opened it, chain on. You have movers coming tomorrow for your things. The house keys are with the agent. Beatrice's face was red. You heartless old woman. After everything we've done. Done? I laughed bitterly. You left your disabled child alone on the holidays. You used my gift to live large while I raised him. This is consequences. Quentin tried softer. Mom, please. We were just stressed. The cruise was a break. We love Lamont. Love doesn't abandon, I said. Love stays. They left, threatening lawyers. But my lawyer confirmed they had no claim. The gift was revocable under the terms I set. Word spread in the family. My sister called, Eleanor, are you sure? This is harsh. Harsh as leaving a 10-year-old in a wheelchair to sip cocktails on a ship, I replied. Lamont adjusted quickly. We set up his room with dinosaur posters, a new adaptive desk. I enrolled him in more therapies using the sale proceeds. The money from the house, over $800,000 after fees, went into a trust for Lamont's future care, education, anything he needed. Quentin and Beatrice moved into an apartment. Beatrice's boutique suffered, rumors spread. Quentin's job performance dipped. They called daily at first, begging. Then angry. Then silent. One evening, Lamont said, Grandma, are Mommy and Daddy mad? Yes, I admitted. But they'll learn. He hugged me. I like it here. No more waiting for them. My heart ached, but it healed too. Months passed. Spring came. Quentin and Beatrice tried everything, texts begging for forgiveness, showing up with gifts for Lamont, which I accepted but supervised, even a lawyer's letter claiming undue influence. My attorney shut it down fast. Lamont thrived. His speech improved with consistent therapy. He made friends at school. We went to parks, museums, even a short trip to the beach, things his parents never prioritized. Then summer arrived. Quentin called. Mom, we want to see Lamont. Properly. Family counseling? I agreed, supervised visits only. At the first meeting in a park, Lamont wheeled excitedly, to them. Beatrice cried, hugged him. Quentin looked ashamed. We were wrong, Quentin said later, while Lamont played. The cruise, it was selfish. We got caught up in our lives. Beatrice nodded. We miss him. We miss the house. But mostly him. I looked at them. Missing isn't enough. Prove it. Show up every day. Not when it's convenient. They promised. Visits increased. They attended therapies, helped with homework. Slowly, trust rebuilt, not fully, but enough for Lamont. But I never gave the house back. The money stayed in trust. They rented a modest home. One night, Lamont asked, will we go back home? No, sweetie, I said. This is home now. But your parents are trying harder. He smiled. Good. But I like Grandma's rules better. I laughed through tears. The real test came when Quentin lost his job, downsizing. They struggled with rent. Beatrice's boutique closed. They asked for help. Just a loan, Mom. For Lamont's sake. I refused. Use the lessons. Work it out. It was hard, but necessary. They did. Quentin found freelance work. Beatrice started online sales. They grew up. Lamont turned 11. We celebrated with cake, friends, no cruise in sight. Quentin pulled me aside. Thank you, Mom. For saving him. And us, in a way. I nodded. I sold the house to protect him. Not punish you. But you needed to feel the loss. He hugged me. We did. Today, we co-parent, me primary, them involved. Lamont is happy, loved, secure. And I? I have my grandson every day. That's worth more than any mansion. Years later, Lamont is 15. Tall in his wheelchair, smart, kind. He wants to be an engineer, design adaptive tech. Quentin and Beatrice remarried in a small ceremony, recommitted. They live nearby, see him daily. The old house? New family loves it. I drive by sometimes, smile. I never regretted selling. It forced change. Greed and neglect lost, love won. Lamont says, Grandma, you're my hero. I reply, no, baby. You are. You taught us all what family means. Life isn't perfect. There are still hard days, therapies, questions about why parents left. But we face them together. If you're a grandparent carrying the load, know this, your love matters. Sometimes, tough choices protect the innocent. And if you're a parent neglecting, stop. Your child deserves better. Our story continues. Not in a big house, but in a full heart. Thank you for reading. If this touched you, like and share. Where are you watching from?